Good morning. My name is Rishi. I am the founding member of Sunlit Future, and I have along with me for today's presentation Mr. Neil Stroop from PDJ Foundation. Our presentation today is about India water projects supported by PDJ Foundation and Sunlit Future to provide private drinking water supply in remote areas of India using solar energy. Niels, would you like to say something?
Yes, my name is Niels Thorup. I'm heading the water program in the PDG Foundation, also known as the Grundfos Foundation. The Grundfos Foundation is the main shareholder of the company Grundfos, and as a part of our work, we have a philanthropic arm where we donate around 36.5 million US dollar per year to different activities. We have free donation criteria or free donation areas where we donate funding for. One is research and education, another is labor inclusion and integration, and then we have water and development, and I'm heading the water program. We work through pre-selected NGOs mainly, and one of our partners is actually Sunlit Future, and they are doing the implementation of the projects we support in India. And back to you, Richie.
I'll be joining in today's session with my colleagues Ashutosh Bhatt and Induja Gandhi Prasad. They will join me in the presentation today. Sunlit Future is a technical organization based in South India, and we specialize in design, assessment, installation, and maintenance of solar pumps. Our journey for installing solar pumps started from the year 2000 onwards to provide access and reliability in rural water, pipe drinking water supply in every remote and challenging backward regions of India. We discovered in our journey that only 33% of 33% of rural households had access to pipe drinking water supply. And we realized through our work that there were a few major challenges which were affecting the reliability and having consistency of water supply. We realized that the major concerns were unreliability and non-availability of power supply in very remote locations. Areas which we were working were very remote and often had no access to power, or the power quality was powered by very low quality infrastructure, leading to extensive breakdown and outages. There was no three-phase assured voltage supply to run electric pumps. The voltage fluctuations was very high and rampant, leading to damaging the electric pumps. We were also discovered that in major summer months, the power got diverted to the urban areas. Due to this unreliability in water supply, there was no consistency in getting water and assured water supply for 24/7. This led to the most of the village infrastructure which had been put by the government or the non-government organizations was not utilized and was not optimized, and village after village were forced to fetch water from open sources such as lakes, ponds, and open wells, and defecate in open areas, often close to the source of water, which led to the contamination of the source of water itself. We also discovered that in this process, there were a lot of authorities which had been mandated to provide access to drinking water were using one design to fit all villages across the country. This had a limitation because the locals beneficiaries were not involved in the design of the project, where the equipment will be installed, where the bore well will be made. They were not stakeholders in the project. And due to this limitation, the size of the equipment which was designed by the authorities did not work on the field. We are working in about 8 states, you can see in the map in India. And the regions which we are working are mostly on the coastal belts on the eastern side and the western side of the country. These areas are located on the coastal side and are prone to natural calamities and often hit by cyclones, which leads to repeated failure of grid infrastructure, disrupting the power supply for weeks and months altogether, and breaks the consistency in the supply of water. You can see through the slide, we've reached about 200,000 beneficiaries through our work from 2014 onwards with the support of the PDJ Grundfos Foundation. Our approach has been to have three partners. One is a strong technical partner, which Sunlit comes into the play, and a strong technical solutions from Grundfos, and a very strong local NGO level partner with a community linkage on which people have trust. Sunlit Future has years of experience on the ground level to design, install, maintain solar pumps, and not only support the pumping part, but the supporting infrastructure required for each village, from identifying the ground source to storage of water, and design pumping capacity required as per each village requirement. We have been using Grundfos pumps, which specifically the 2 horsepower SQ Flex series of pumps, which had a proven track record and had a very low maintenance and operation cost. These pumps are designed to work from 30 meters to 250 meters and can be powered through 600 watts to 2 kilowatt. Very small solar systems run these pumps, and these are very easy to install and maintain. The track record of working of these pumps is in the toughest of the regions. So the technical solution on the ground worked for many years. We also had a partnership with the local NGOs. The local NGOs had a very strong community linkages, which had a trust of villagers. This resulted in 100% participation of all households of each village and making them key stakeholders in implementation of the drinking water projects. They contributed by manual labor, such as trench work or laying of pipelines or doing the civil infrastructure work, thus making sure and that they also had formed local village level committees which were maintaining the pump, and they contributed about less than $1 a month for the upkeep and regular maintenance. So the budget is there for self-sufficiency of the project and any future investments required for maintenance of the project. The key learning part is to have a very strong technical partner like Grundfos, an implementation partner like Sunlit Future, and a very strong NGO partner on the ground. Due to this 3 collaboration, we have seen that the effects have been rather unique in the sense that a strong NGO partner with very local ground level based manpower and information regarding the caste, the class, and the social scenario in each village, we have overcome the potential failure of a project. We could oversee this, that we don't encounter any projects, any issues going forward in the operation and maintenance of a system. Through the strength of social engineering and 100% participation of stakeholders led to the success of water being available round the clock for the entire beneficiaries. These efforts have created a benchmark for local government and implementation partners on how such interventions should be designed and delivered with a community-centric approach. That is the key success model. With this, I'd like to hand over my presentation to Induja to carry forward. Induja, can you take it forward?
Yes, thank you, Rishi. So before we jump into the solutions, I would like to take you all into a bit of depth of the problems that we have with water access in India. So when we talk about remote habitations, the extent of the extreme conditions of them are like these communities are situated anywhere at an altitude of about 3,500 meters above the mean sea level, and also in inland regions which has like scorching temperatures during peak summers, and also like Rishi mentioned, in the coastal belt which are prone to cyclone, and also sometimes in the middle of the reserve forest, in the middle of the wildlife corridors, and all these things. So this is these kind of areas, and basically tribal habitations is where our work is mainly focused in. Next. And so looking at the depth of the problem, we can see that the long distances to fetch water from water source which it takes a lot of effort, and also it takes about like sometimes even half a day from especially a woman's life, because in our intervention villages, about 84% villages, women are engaged in this task. And even in peak summers, it goes more than, like the walk goes for more than 3 to 4 kilometers per day to fetch water enough for their household usage. Next. And again, about the poor infrastructure and unreliability, about 80% of our intervention villages does not even have proper access roads. And because of the remote location, having a reliable source of electricity to make the water supply possible is very difficult. And also, especially in cyclone-prone areas, it gets even more difficult. And the women again are back to fetching water, walking long distances. Next. And the water quality is a huge issue in India, and it's very different from place to place. And we see that non-availability of water of good quality is posing a serious health risks, and also compromises a lot of sanitation practices in this population. And we can see about 35% of the rural population in India does not even have sanitation facilities in their households, which is a major concern. Next. So all these issues, if we see at a village level or even at a cluster level, where this situation puts these villages in terms of, having a sustainability is, for example, if we come to the aspect of finitude, the availability of water, enough water for the utilities is a big question. So the water sources are not good enough to supply the amount of water that is needed for the communities. And then coming to fairness, the aspect of fairness, how the water is getting distributed to different people, and how it poses a very big imbalance in gender aspect is a huge gap that we see. And all these contributes to the fragility of the ecosystem. We have seen a lot of people in a lot of areas that we work in. There is a lot of distress migration, because there is non-availability of water implies other things such as loss of livelihood, and they can't, lack of good sanitation practices, and also it poses a huge risk on huge impact on education, for example, and nutrition, and so and so. So the situation that we were faced with is such magnitude and was not a single straight problem. So it was connecting to all other aspects, and it was really a question of sustainability of the whole ecosystem. So the opportunity that we saw through this was to create a solution which is not merely technical, but also a cross-cutting solution which addresses all these other aspects and contributes to the sustainability of these ecosystems. So over to you, Ashutosh, to take about the solution.
Yeah. So what we realized is that when we went back into the villages where the solutions had to be implemented, with our approach, as we worked across more than 3,000 odd villages with installations of solar solutions, we understood one thing very clearly, that taking a sustainable solution on ground needed to have an approach where we had to design and take particular aspects of each technology to a separate place, which was most applicable and most appropriate to that region. So through a lot of interventions, through trials and errors, we realized that there's no one package that fits all. There are specific solutions which are needed for specific communities. With that idea, we started taking back our solar solutions into villages. And next. If you have to focus on the key features that our solution focuses on, first of all, it is about decentralization. We try to make sure that single village schemes are the focus, wherein each hamlet is catered to one solar pumping system. We don't focus on multi-village schemes, but decentralization of the scheme and making the villagers understand on how to use the technology, and democratizing the access of technology at the village level is our focus. As we build the packages, the solar solutions, the technological interventions are designed to cater different kinds of water sources, be it open wells, deep bore wells, lifting of water from springs, rivers, etc. Solutions are context specific, region specific, depending on the requirements of the villagers. These designs that we do can deliver up to water of 35,000 liters to 70,000 liters per day across various topographies, hilly areas, as well as plain areas, depending on the region which we serve across India. While we do all of this on the technical side, focus with the NGO partners, the local partners is also on very strong social engineering concepts with the formation of the village level committees. So the village water committees are set up to maintain the systems and to take up ownership on the long term. They are given a lot of trainings and emphasis on how they can operate, build, and maintain the systems, and also look into the preventive maintenance aspects as the system and the water supply system functions along the time. Next. Yeah, so this is a kind of a brief schematic representation of what our system looks like. As you can see at the very bottom left, we usually have pumps, group force pumps of various models like SQ Flex Series, CR Flex Series, SP Series, etc., ranging from a capacity of around 0.5 HP to 5 HP installed in deep bore wells. They are usually connected to a solar panels having capacities ranging from 330 watt peak to 440 watt peak to a maximum capacity of around 2 kilowatt. These are usually installed on galvanized iron roof structures, units which are usually roof mounted or ground mounted depending on the region and the kind of installation we reach. And these are usually connected from the source to the water tank through HDP pipe and fittings. So HDP pipes allows us the flexibility of easy repairs, maintenance, and reconnections of new pipelines as needed compared to other pipelines. And they are very good in terms of degradability. They are having good UV resistance also. Next. The overhead tanks are usually site specific. They are RCC overhead tanks in regions where we see that use of PVC tanks are not adequate, and there is large quantity of water needed to be supplied based on the size of the community. Whereas in areas where there are small segregated communities, we install PVC multi-layer tanks, and these water tanks supply water to the houses, the kitchens, the toilets, bathing room, and through stand posts at the point of delivery for water usage. Next. Yeah, Induja.
So that's our whole system. And if we see how our systems are addressing the aspects of sustainability, so to say, the aspect of finitude, we take care, and before we intervene, we take care of carefully assessing the bore wells or any kind of water source that we are going to install the pump. We do a check, we do an analysis of the water table levels, so to ensure continuous supply of water even in extreme summer and also during peak monsoon seasons. Next. And then, as my colleague mentioned, it is a decentralized unit, so which takes care of the system level functioning within the community, and any repairs or anything that is coming up is not affecting a larger system. Next. So we have also tried out installing water meters in some of the villages to basically monitor and also to keep a balance on the water consumption by the communities. So this avoids overexploitation and fair use of water resource. Next. And then the village water committees that we form, we also have trained them so that they monitor the water quantity and water levels in the water sources, and they keep reporting to us, and we keep a check, and we take preventive measures in terms of extremely dry season or something. So the whole responsibility is lying with the community themselves. Yeah. And the aspects of fairness is we ensure that the water committees are put in place, and they ensure the equal, they ensure the social equity in terms of water supply in their village level. And we aim at a minimum supply of 55 liters per capita per day, and we make sure that that much is supplied for every household in a village. Yeah. And yeah, in terms of equity, we also ensure that in the village water committee, about 40% of women participation is present, and which takes care of the gender neutrality, and also representatives from every cross section in the village, in a multifaceted village, is represented in the water committee. And next. Yeah, and our village institutions, they are trained in taking care and running the systems, and we are constantly in touch with them through the local NGO partners, and they are the key people who are helping us locally to run the whole system and even to maintain the systems. And we encourage women participation not just in the water committees, but we have also trained a number of women as pump operators who run our systems basically. So from having not getting time to do any other activity, to now empowered as pump operators who can actually run the whole system and then be in touch with us about some technical aspects regarding the running of the system. This is a huge shift that our systems have created in many women's lives also. Yeah. So again, coming to women who were like half of their day engaged in fetching water. Now, anywhere starting from having a leisure time to cook a proper meal and to eat on time, to doing some productive activities at home, women have really got back their time. And next. And some of the women, so to say, are even engaged in income generating opportunities, and some have really become leaders who are, driving the social change. Some of our beneficiary women from the beneficiary communities are now leading the programs in the local areas, and they are, helping other communities get water also, which is a great inspiration. And they also, because of the NGO that is creating the awareness in the communities about water consumption, a lot of people are using the wastewater from the kitchen and also the bathrooms to create their own garden in the backyard, which is helping them diversify the nutritional palette, and which is adding to the health, and also a lot of sanitation practices have improved. Not just that, and another important place our solutions come in is it is all local efforts to contribute towards the global goals that the whole world is working towards now. And we are working clearly towards the larger goal of clean water and sanitation and good health and well-being. And also in a small scale, we are also contributing to other goals, 7, 12, 13, gender equality and reduce inequalities. Yeah. Ashutosh.
In terms of impact, if you have to see through our interventions of projects that we have been doing with the foundation, to give you a rough perspective, we are pumping around close to 10,900 odd cubic meters of water per day for drinking. And these are covering mostly tribal population and remote pockets of the country. And in terms of the intervention from the perspective of clean energy solutions, if you have to see the electricity bill that we have offsetted for, in terms of conventional energy that people would have rather used earlier, would be around $81,000. And equivalent capacity of solar installations that we have done on ground is equivalent to around 1,100 kilowatt. So all of these interventions have also had a lot of CO2 emission reduction till date, which we have been tracking through our interventions on ground, which is close to around 4,400 tons. So all our areas where we have been promoting all of these activities, close emphasis is also on a lot of watershed and also interventions around rejuvenation of natural green cover. So in terms of the offsets that we have been doing, equivalent trees planted is equal to around more than 130,000 odd plantations. Yeah, next.
Yeah. And from our direct household surveys conducted from our beneficiary communities, we would like to highlight some of the major shifts that has been evident. One is most importantly reducing the walking distances of fetching the water, and another very significant increase is the construction of toilets, and which is catering to the improved sanitation practices. We could see within 1 year of our intervention, there is about a 19% increase in construction of toilets, which is facilitated through the NGOs and also through other government schemes in India. This is a huge shift and very positive. And sanitation, other hygiene practices like washing hands, we could see that there is about a recorded increase of 27% from our beneficiary population, which is small but yet contributing to a larger goal. Next.
In terms of challenges and opportunities that we have been seeing, coming first to the challenges, of course, as we have started to decentralize the system and the approach, we have been seeing issues around water quality, which are very local and village specific in nature. Issues like bacteria and nitrate contaminations are coming up with water sources, which are usually issues around shallow aquifers, where water sources are usually dug wells. So having a treatment solution localized for decentralized small scale habitation and yet making it technically and financially viable is a challenge which we are working on right now. While we do that, of course, climate change and issues around water access is becoming more and more relevant in terms of the local issues in India. And we are seeing that the importance of having a proper groundwater management protocol on ground will go a long way ahead in terms of management of the common pool resource itself. While we say that year on year, we are seeing reduction in groundwater table and in terms of seasonality of the sources itself, and a lot of work and emphasis are being now focused by the government as well as the foundation on improving this on the issues around water access in summers. While we do this, in terms of opportunities, we see that there is a lot of opportunities for replicability and demonstration, where we can take this solution in terms of this particular model to other areas, and people can learn as well as visit these villages, which are like a beacon village in terms of how social and engineering go hand in hand in terms of having a solution implemented on ground, and showcasing how decentralized approach helps and how what are its advantages over centralizing a certain scheme. Having smaller habitations manage and own their own infrastructure goes a long way. And while we say this, we are starting to see the improved health outcomes and more livelihood opportunities on ground, which are clearly creating an impact and a ripple effect at the community level. Yeah, next.
So we, in a country which is diverse like India, our systems have been working through various contexts and different extreme conditions. And in all these diversity, in all different languages and in all different contexts, cultural contexts, we have been told that there is tomorrow if there is water. And we believe that our solutions will be seeds of change in securing the tomorrow for millions of people. And we are happy to present this work. And yeah. And you can visit us at our website, and also if you have any queries and if you need more information, you can always reach out to us at info@sunlitfuture.in. And also another opportunity for you guys to interact with us is at the exhibition room of Grundfos Foundation and Co. on the World Water Week website. You can post your queries also there, and we will be interested to talk to you there. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Induja, and thank you, Ashutosh. Niels,
you.
thanks a lot, and see you at the World Water Week. Bye.